Everybody loves eating, everybody wants glorious food. If you do not know what to do, Josh will cook something for you. Oh man, what a day today, crazy day. You know, it's one of those days where I don't really have hours to spend in the kitchen to cook, and I want to make something fast, and sometimes you got the munchies, you just want to eat something. So I'm trying to figure out some recipes that kind of like satisfy that craving for eating something delicious, creative, satisfying. It'll only take you a few minutes to make. And truth is, most of the food that I make is quick. Yeah, I love cooking, I like being creative and wild and roasting things all day, but usually I'm just hungry, I work hard, and I just want to open the fridge and whip something up that's satisfying, delicious, makes me feel fantastic, but also doesn't take all frickin' day to make. So that's what these recipes are all about. We also teamed up with Just Egg, and they make this all plant-based product that tastes a lot like eggs. It has the same texture, fluffiness. It's kind of been blowing my mind, so I'm going to show you guys a couple recipes, including that in the video. Regardless of what you like, this video is going to give you something great and kind of help you think outside of the box a little bit, make something fantastic. So I think one of the keys to making amazing food fast is having incredible sauces. And as you know on Brothers Green, we love making our sauces. So I'm gonna be making 2 5-ingredient sauces. This one's kind of like a cheesy, cashewy kind of thing going on. It's also vegan. Cashew soaked, red peppers, cilantro, garlic, and some nutritional yeast. If you don't have this, you can just add a little more salt, but this is kind of like a cheesy sort of flavor vibe going on. And then, of course, I'm gonna use some salt, pepper, oil, vinegar, like basic pantry stuff that I'm not gonna include in the 5, but these are like the 5 star ingredients. Cashews, a little bit of the water. Cashews go in, cilantro goes in, pepper goes in, garlic, nutritional yeast, homemade kombucha vinegar, whoa, forget. This blender is so strong, it heats stuff up. So this sauce is actually hot right now. So when I turned it over, it kind of air bubbled and exploded. But once it cools, it's gonna thicken up a bit and tastes so good. You won't even know what to do with yourself. You'll try to know what to do, but you won't even know. So if you don't have those ingredients, you wanna make a different sauce, or you wanna make both. This is a sauce I've been making recently. It's gonna sound really funny. So simple, but so good. It's basically a sweet chili barbecue sauce. So I actually start with sweet chili sauce. And I find this can be a little expensive in the stores, so what I do is I cut it with some just tomatoes that have been pureed, apple cider vinegar. You can always add like some spices and stuff if you want. So what's cool about a lot of these recipes is, of course, the more time you have, the more you can do. So I could easily, cook down some onions in here and sweat them, but I wanted to show you something really fast that I find is just so good. If you don't have sweet chili, it's basically just a mixture of garlic, chili, some sugar, vinegar, and then maybe some sort of thickener like cornstarch or xanthan gum or something. All I'm gonna do now is just mix this around together, let it come to a boil, and then just simmer it, kind of like you would making a tomato sauce. And as I do that, I'm gonna be adding, a little bit of salt, some crushed pepper, I might add some chili powder. What I'm gonna do is just add some crushed Thai dried peppers, make this really spicy. This is be our spicy sauce. The other one is more of like a creamy sauce. This is gonna add the spices nice. Bubbla, 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 bubbla. How beautiful that looks. Bring it down to a simmeridito. And then we'll just let it chill. This could, it could be ready right now, or you could let it cook for 30 minutes. It's really up to you how much time you got. Don't worry about the correct way of doing it. Just trust your instincts. When it comes to breakfast, I like making meals that take just a few minutes, because I wake up, I'm hungry, and before I go work out or work in the garden, I want to have something delicious that fills me up. So Just Egg being the sponsor, I'm going to be using this to make a breakfast sandwich. And what's amazing about this is it's all entirely made from plants. They use the protein from mung bean. You can make French toast with it, you can do pad thai, scrambled eggs, all kinds of stuff. And I'm really impressed. So my wife is allergic to eggs. And there are eggs in so many recipes. If you can't eat eggs, it can be hard. Just Eggs is a good solution for that. So I'm going to use it to make a breakfast sandwich, and let's get after it. So what I have here, I got the Just Egg. I'm using some vegan cheese. Of course, you can use regular cheese if you want. This is some portobello, some arugula on top, because I feel like anything with arugula, any kind of sandwich is automatically fancier with arugula, and everything bagel. That's a great kind of trick for your 5 ingredients to get extra flavor, because the everything has got everything on it. So a super cool trick for mushrooms, because when you put oil in mushrooms, the oil just disappears. The mushrooms basically soak them up, so you add water, just a little bit. That's probably actually too much, but you almost kind of give them like a really quick boil. This is a really fast way to cook mushrooms. You just add a little bit of water, you kind of give them a quick boil, and what's gonna happen is they're gonna break down very fast. And then, once they're broken down, they're starting to cook, then you add the oil, and then you can saute. Otherwise, you're gonna add way too much oil to get a saute. Yeah, I freaking love this trick. So yeah, see now that all the water's pretty much evaporated, and I did dump a little bit out because I added too much. Then I add my oil, and then they're just gonna take like a minute to saute down. Then we just fry up our egg, a little cheese, and we build our sandwich. So for the just egg, very simple, a little bit of oil in the pan. Shake this thing up. You could of course use butter. It's not about, you know, being vegan or vegetarian, it just is what it is, you know, deliciousness. So I'm gonna pour some of that in there. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. You can always finish it with a little bit of salt. But if I were to be scrambling, the idea would just be to kind of have it on like, you know, low, bring it up to heat, medium, and just kind of mix it around. But I'm actually going for more of like a sandwich thing going on here. So I'm gonna try to form it into a bit of a sandwich, and then I'll add the cheese on top, let that melt. And as it comes together, I mean, this smells like an egg, looks like an egg. Wow, look at that. Isn't that crazy? Toast a little pepper on the egg. Woo, it's a lot of pepper. Got a pepper alert, folks. Give it a little bit of a flip. Oh man. This blows me away. It looks identical to a freaking egg. So add some cheese on top. And we'll let that melt and build our sandwich. And then we get our egg on here. And just because I'm me, I gotta flame this thing up. Add a little mushrooms, little shroomies go on top. And if you're someone who really misses like bacon, you could totally fry these mushrooms up and like add some smoked paprika, some different things to give it that smokiness and get it real crispy, but I'm okay. And of course, to make it fancy, as I said, arugula on top. And then, a little bit of that barbecue sauce that's still simmering down. Oh, that is gonna be breakfast of champions. She's a beauty. Ain't she a beauty? Shall we dance, darling? Shall we? Tastes just like a breakfast sandwich. If you've missed eggs, not anymore. Not anymore. The texture is perfect. Flavor's on point. And with the mushrooms and arugula, because arugula adds a little bit of that spiciness. And then you have the barbecue sauce, which like really hits you with the spice, but arugula adds like that nice spicy bitter. Screw these cooking shows where they just take one bite of the food, like, that's good, next. No. Hey, real life. Real life. My hair's got my own love its own. Getting on the stage chair.
Josh, thank you for joining us and spreading the Just Egg word and tastiness. You are hand-selected. You feel so special because we believe in what you're doing. We think you feel the same way about us. Now let's have some fun. Josh. Whoa, so Josh wrote this to Josh. I always like a good Josh. Thanks, Josh. I was hand-selected. I feel like a fine wine. This is very nice.
It's a rare thing to look in my fridge and not find tortillas. And I love tacos, and no disrespect to the classic traditional taco, but sometimes I like to get weird with it, especially when I want to make something quick. So I've been doing a lot of cauliflower tacos recently. You cut them up, you add some salt, pepper, oil, you throw them in the oven at like 450 until they get really nice and crispy like this. And then they almost become like meat in a kind of interesting way, like the way they pull apart, like pulled pork. But honestly, even better. Cauliflower is one of the best vegetables, I believe, in the world. So for my 5 ingredients, I got tortillas, sauerkraut, hummus is like a roasted red pepper hummus, avocado, and cauliflower. And then I'm probably gonna add one of those sauces on top. This one's super fast, super easy. You're basically just heating this up. And of course, cauliflower is something that I just roast a ton of and just have throughout the week. So technically, yeah, that takes a little bit longer, but
You know, you could do broccoli and you could saute it up. You could saute this up straight up. But I like to have things prepped a little bit so I can make really quick, fast, delicious meals. So of course you could use a pan if you were gonna heat any of the ingredients up, but all I really need to do is just kind of bring these tortillas back to life. Super simple. You get a flame going, you can do it in a pan as well, but I find the easiest way is to actually just get a flame going and just kind of like let them chill in there. Nice and low, just kind of let them cook on both sides, and it just sort of brings it back to life and makes it taste as if it was just fresh off the heat. Look at that. Who wants to build a weird taco? A weird taco, a weird taco. Who wants to build a weird taco? Me. Today. So hummus goes on. I'm telling you, this is gonna taste so good. And it's not gonna be your traditional taco, but the tortilla is one of the best vehicles for just about anything if you're smart. Like, you can make little pizzas on these things, you can make desserts. If you haven't expanded beyond the standard taco, you don't know what you're missing. Cauliflower, and you could, you know, rip it up so it's got some like sort of bite-sized pieces, but see how tender that is? Tender, tender, over the tender hill. La 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 la. Sometimes I'll do this with tofu instead. You could of course use just eggs or eggs for breakfast. I make a lot of breakfast tacos. Avocado, lots of avocado. I think, you know, I don't use the word healthy much on this channel. We cook a lot of food that would be considered healthy, but I don't use the word much because I think it has a lot of weight to it. It's like, you know. But I think this is in a realm of like really good for you taco. I mean, come on, you got sauerkraut, which is fermented. Who doesn't like fermented? Avocado, which is amazing. Hummus, amazing. Cauliflower, freaking amazing. This is of course where we add our magic ingredient to really just change the game. Oh my god, are you kidding me on those? Ain't she a beauty? Ain't she? Wow, it smells like where no taco smell has ever gone. Except into my mouth. Whoa. What is happening? So for this recipe, I'm gonna focus less on the amount of ingredients, although I'm still gonna use very few ingredients, and more on this kind of cool idea I came up with recently. So I love nachos. They're freaking amazing. There's so many kinds of nachos that you can make, just like the taco. Like, you don't need to be limited by the standard one. I think you see it as some sort of crispy chip with something gooey like a cheese, some delicious toppings, something spicy, sauce, all the magic. It's salty, it's spicy, it's magical, it's delicious. But what happens if you're with a friend and you guys like different things? That's what I came with this thing. Parchment paper, and you can use tin foil as well too, probably. I cut it out in the shape of a plate, just, you know, put a plate over it and kind of rounded it out. And then I can make two different nachos, so it's kind of like customize your nacho. So for one, I'm gonna do, these are like these sort of whole grain corn, flax, all the good stuff in there chips. Personal favorite chip of mine. They're very different. Plantain. So I actually call this recipe the stir-fried nacho. And that sounds silly, but what I do, and this is how you save time. So I have the oven's already preheated, it's hot. I'm going to dump, I have 2 cheeses. So let's say you have a friend who doesn't eat real cheese, is lactose intolerant. Take a vegan cheese on there, and then let's say you have a friend, who like literally pumps cheese directly into their veins. That's how much they love cheese. Get a regular cheese. I got the Mexican blend. How about they call it the Mexican blend? I'm like, who do they think they are? Okay, right now you're probably confused. You're like, I haven't really learned anything, just how to put cheese on chips. Here's where it gets cool though. We pop this in the oven. While this is going on, we're gonna stir fry. That's why I call it stir-fried nachos. Stir fry the ingredients that we want on top, and then as this is coming out, they're gonna be ready to go. We're gonna pop on the ingredients we want, finish it up, and magic is ready to ensue in your mouth. You can of course add whatever you want. Just go in with a little bit of oil in there. Use some scallywags, red pepper. One thing I've been loving recently is, as they call it, cauliflower rice, which is basically just cauliflower that's been blended up into almost like a rice texture. And then just gonna set that down. You can of course add, you know, salt, pepper, all the standard stuff. So let's say that you have someone who wants to add meat. Just take about half of it out, half the mixture. And I've got some ground
just cut up chicken here. Sort of like deli style chicken, which is of course great when you want something fast. Then you just add this, and this will kind of become your meat lovers one. So cheese is melted, you got your regular cheese, you got your vegan attaches. So the vegan one of course gets this. Sort of vegan stir fry on top. And again, you can use any stuff you want. This one gets the stir fry plus the chicken. And at that point you can call it quits, but you know me, I like to go crazy. So for the sort of vegetarian one, I'm actually gonna add sprouts, make this one like extra quote unquote, I say quote unquote healthy. This one do a nice dollop of some guacamole. So this one I'll play on those Mexican flavors a little bit more. Add some salsa. For this one over here, I'm gonna go with my beautiful zip sauce, and boom, look at that. Oh, hello there. Wow, look at these things. Mmm. Mmm. Oh, whoa. These are good, but these are legit. I did wake up like this. So I had this idea. I wanted to see if I could use just egg to make French toast, but I was thinking, you know, everyone knows how to make French toast. What if I could take a different thing and make French toast out of it? And I actually have this leftover jasmine rice here. It's starting to harden up. It's in the place where you probably either make stir fry, or some people might even just throw it out because they think it's no good, but it is still very good. So I'm gonna take this like rice that's about 3 days old and the just egg and make sort of like a French toast mixture, but I'm gonna fry up like a little like pancake, like a rice pancake, and then batter that and fry it up again. So I got cinnamon, coconut butter. This is like a chocolate nut milk that I made. Got the just egg, rice, and of course this maple syrup that I got from a friend that I'm so excited about. It's so good. So what I'll do is I'll add in some just egg, a little bit of this milk, a little salt, just a little salt. I know it sounds kind of weird, but even with sweet dishes, you want to get a little salt. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to add a little of this in there. Little maple slip. Never hurt no while. I'm going to reserve some. So we're mixing all this together so the just egg coats it, and the idea is that it kind of turns it into almost like a batter that we can make and form like a rice bread out of, essentially. Like a rice pancake or something. Here goes something. Some of this butter in there, coconut butter. So what I'm going to try to do here is, now that I'm thinking about it, is kind of form a couple using my hands. You could obviously just scoop this in 3 pieces, but I just dumped it all in for some reason. So I'm going to try to form, it's like a couple little pancakes here, essentially. Turn my little light on. Oh yeah, look at that. It's like a little rice pancake. How beautiful does that look? So, keep in mind, you obviously don't have to re-batter these. I just think it's like a really fun thing to do. It's kind of like double French toasted up. But they already look pretty amazing. So we got these guys, let them cool just a little bit. Pop them back in. Then what we can do is go right to our pan. Wow. Here comes a lot of maple syrup, the money shot right there. Wow. Is that not, look how beautiful the strawberries are. And the sheen on that from the just egg. This is such a quick breakfast too. The sun wants, look at those French toast rice cakes. Alright, let's see. Here's obviously the test here. Little straw bizzle. Oh my god. Come on. Wow. The whole time, I didn't realize this till now, but the thing missing from French toast is often that extra crunch. You might get a little crunch, but having the crispy rice in there with the chewy just egg and the sweet maple and those strawberries are so fragrant. I think I like this better. Sorry whoever invented French toast, but there's a new kid on the block. New kid in town.